Alright, today we're buckling down and getting serious. What's up with the $92 Commander decks? Alright, so my buddies and I are in a group chat. One of the bros says, hey, what the heck is up with the Commander Masters Commander decks? A set of 4 is $370, so that's $92 per deck. Contrast that with March of the Machines Commander decks, which are pre-selling for $213 for 5 Commander decks, so that's roughly $42 per deck. And contrast that with the starter Commander decks which debuted last year, fully playable out of the box 100 card Commander decks for approximately $25. So listen, all 3 of these products basically come with the same things: 100 card Commander deck, foil Commander or 2, which will immediately twist into perfect spheres if exposed to the atmosphere of Earth, and some tokens, and a useless deck box. The starter Commander decks come with 1 less foil, which in my opinion is for the better. The March of the Machines decks come with 10 Plane Chase cards and 1 planar die, so that's a nice little bonus there. For those of you who haven't played Plane Chase, it's a fun variant to spice up your Commander games. Also, the Commander Masters and March of the Machines decks come with a 2-card sample collector booster, ooh la la, which most likely has 2 foils in it, I guess. I have no idea. I only ever opened one of these in the Battle for Baldur's Gate Mind Flayers precon, and it was dookie. So there you go. That sets the stage. With some minor differences, you have 3 product lines, basically the same thing. You're paying for a Commander deck. Same ink, same cardboard, same curly foils. The $25 product is a bit more bare bones, I will acknowledge that, plus the $25 product is all reprints. Alright, let's talk about the 10 never before seen powerful new cards that come with the more expensive products. I'm doing air quotes here because that's what's in the marketing. Let's start with this. There is art commission and design that needs to get done on those cards. That additional cost can easily be covered by the $45 price tag. Want to know how I know? Because it's in the $45 product. So let's not delude ourselves here. The artists aren't pulling in $50,000 for a card. I've never been commissioned myself. My artwork is closer to the Secret Lair Birds of Paradise pictured here. Articles I've read though have said around $400 to $1,500 for a piece, but I'm sure it varies. However, it's not breaking the bank over there. And as far as the design goes, yes, there is a team of designers, they need to put food on the table, but these cards don't need to be play tested too much. Commander is an already broken format with 2-card combos, Mind Slaver locks, destroy everyone's permanents, blah blah blah. It's not standard, it doesn't need to be balanced. If a card is pushed, well, that's honestly better for the product. Free Spell sold Ikoria, Dockside sold a ton of Commander decks as well. Well, Nick, what if there's more than $92 worth of reprint equity in the Commander decks? Well, that's a bit subjective. Once they're printed, the price goes down. If you know that all the legal Eldrazi Titans are in the precon plus Eldrazi Temple and it that betrays, well, buy it, I guess. And if it's a limited product, it won't hit the prices too much. I can see that argument, I guess, if I put on the glasses that make me see subjective value. But rip those glasses off for a second. Let's just take this from a bird's eye view. It's the same cardboard, the same ink, the same curly foils, and the same unusable cardboard deck box. $90 to $25, it's the same stuff really. You're paying for the Commander deck. If I suddenly had card blindness and couldn't see what was printed on the card, then they would all look and feel exactly the same. And that's kind of the problem where all this is going. We had a situation where a set came out, you kind of played the lottery with packs and sometimes opened something of value. It was fun because it was semi-affordable. Now you have $25 packs, all of a sudden the stakes are super high. 80% of the rares are going to be, bulk rares or worthless or worth $2 or $3 or something. It feeds that cycle of high risk, high reward gambling, with some small percentage of the rares and mythics being worth the cost of admission. $92 for a Commander deck just seems cynical to me. I don't see the justification for it when a similar product with the 10 added Plane Chase cards and a planar die goes for roughly half of that. Alright, listen, I'm going to let you peer behind the curtain a little bit here. I'm an old man. I've been around the block a couple times. I mean, listen, I've had some life experiences, you know what I'm saying? I sit and reflect on times I've done things that maybe weren't in my self-interest, helping people. I've stuck my neck out for people, you know what I mean? But how much of that was really in my self-interest? I had an interesting conversation years ago in which a very smart fellow postulated that there was no such thing as true altruism. Even when you're ostensibly helping other people, you get something out of it. A feeling of righteousness, a pat on the back, good standing in the community, whatever. It rang true to me, at least I think there's enough truth there for further reflection. I think people trick themselves into thinking what they are doing is altruistic. Maybe it's always not so altruistic. So always examine the motives of the people making decisions around this game, both conscious and unconscious, stated and left unsaid. I honestly think the designers, the folks at Wizards, they want to make exciting, fun, unique cards that spark our imaginations. They want to hook new players, retain old players, and grow the game. It's in their self-interest to do so. They want to put out a good product. Everyone above the designers, however, as in any industry, whether it be textiles, healthcare, or service, exists only to extract profit. It's not enough that the executive makes some profit, some modest profit, maybe double what the designers and workers make. No. They need to make 10,000 times what the workers make. Their greed is endless. You remember the thought experiment where you could push a button and get, say, $10 million, but someone you didn't know had to die? Well, these people's self-interest is relentlessly pushing that button as many times as they possibly can to accrue the maximum amount of money that they possibly can to no end. So who suffers, really? Well, as consumers, we certainly aren't suffering in the existential sense. I mean, we're not literally dying. I mean, as I've said before, I can never buy a card again and play Commander every day until I die and never see some of the cards in my decks. It's a vast game. There are thousands of unique pieces. But we are getting products that test our ability to participate in new sets, and that we are put upon a little bit. It becomes a question of whether we want to opt out. And once you do, you're very comfortable opting out of all future sets. You realize you don't have to do this. And if it's hanging with bros, you can just go to lunch instead. Maybe play Destiny or Call of Duty. Commander Masters is a whale product. It seems like it's being engineered to extract the maximum profit possible from people who can't help themselves. Gambling addiction is real, folks, and people feel like they have to buy boxes to keep up. Oh, hey, Nicky G, you're just complaining, dude. Just take your ball and go home. We don't need to hear from you. If you don't like it, you can get it out. Poor guy. Loser. Insert internet tough guy talk here. Yeah, I could, but I like delving into design spaces, designing decks that hum and work well. I like experimenting with new commanders and finding old cards that interact uniquely with them. The designers give me a playground to be imaginative and free in a game I already am established in. Keeps my mind busy. I like that. But sometimes, I feel like I'm a little caught in the middle of this whole thing between being established and trying to balance decks for people who are new to the format. I build a lot of sub $100 commander decks, $50, $70, and you can get a lot for that price. Budget brewing is a challenge that I can get into. So as each new set looms, consider the unique perspectives that went into creating a product. It's the same as when you watch the news, really. It should be abundantly clear at this point that there is no objective news. It's all skewed to whatever agenda is being pushed by that particular network. Everyone has their self-interest tied up in their product, including me. So at a certain point, you need to ask yourself if it's a bridge too far. Is $92 Commander deck worth the price? Yeah, it has flashy reprints, but it's essentially something they could sell for $45. Want to know how I know? Because they are selling it for $45. For me, that's a reasonable price, I guess. $45 for a 100 card commander deck. It's what I can justify for a deck with 10 new cards and 2 foiled commanders that are going to curl up in 2 seconds. That makes sense to me, I guess. At $92, I'm going to pass. Even if there are reprints of extreme value. With Wizards' reprint policy right now, they may get reprinted 4 more times in the calendar year. They are not an investment. If you just want to play the game, you can get in for a quarter of that price with those cheap starter decks. Listen, enjoy your life, fine folks. This is Nicky G from Better Commander, signing off.